Okay, so I'm gonna have this on second tab. Sorry guys, that was a bit much. So I'm gonna start reviewing both the Boruto chapter and the Dragon Ball chapter. I think I'll start with Boruto first, just because it's more story driven. So that's that on that. You know how the song goes. The one Drake's dad did. Oh man. Okay, I'll do it on Viz. Support the official dudes. I don't know if Manga Plus is official or not. I'll have to look that up. August 18, 2021. We have been blessed, my friends. So that means that the next chapter is going to come in a little more early than usual. But then again, July is a month that ends on the 31st, so I guess it's just an act of mercy. Oh, this new Boruto logo with Damon on the front is kind of cool. I like Damon's like hair color. His like general palette. It reminds me of Trix yogurt. No, it actually reminds me of like Christmas cookies in general. I've never had a Christmas cake before, by the way, so I know that's like a Japanese tradition more so than hood tradition. They're claw marks, a kind of marker to designate locations. A unique ability unique to code, apparently. Ability unique to code, apparently. According to Motto, he can instantaneously travel from mark to mark. Okay, so they're trying to say that Code has abilities similar to the fourth Hokage, which I've already been spoiled a little on all of this stuff. But it's kind of weird because the fourth Hokage, his flying Raijin was initially framed as a space-time ninjutsu, but I guess by current standards it's no longer considered space-time ninjutsu. Like, we're used to Obito's Kamui and Sasuke's Dojutsu and all these things that kind of just create portals to other places. Stuff that Kaguya can do. Pretty much. So it might actually be worse because it's based off of a claw mark, an indentation as opposed to an actual thing like the tagged shurikens that Minato Namikaze had. Okay, so he managed to tag up the wall of Konoha when no one was noticing, so that's probably how he was able to do intel on Naruto and tell, okay, he doesn't have a karma mark on him, so Momoshiki didn't pass on a karma, but we know he did with Boruto. Okay, let's see. So there's a bunch of them in all the villages and shit, and Shikamaru was like, damn, why haven't we found this dude yet? I'm about to go look for this dude. Well, he didn't say that, but I'm referring to the never buy weed from the gas station video. It's nice to see Sai getting some screen time. Oh, so there's like outers that are getting caught up. The anime is gonna do some filler with that. Okay, so Naruto, Boruto, Sasuke, Namura, Kawaki, like, they all gotta have, like, people watching them, like, Anbu probably. Let's see. So, Shikamaru wishes Code would just stay chilling for the rest of his days with Ten Tails and stuff like that, but obviously Code wants blood, he wants vengeance on those who took away his beloved deity, alien dude, Ishiki. I know a lot of people want Code to do some static, because people have been fiending for action, and I saw a lot of people complain about this chapter in general when the spoilers came out, because they want less breathing room, more time for action, kind of how the series was for 2 years straight, 2.5. Okay, so now Kawaki is just as miserable and sulky as Boruto was a couple months ago. So I see like a dude in that pod that what's his face, Amado, and he's working on. So he's still working on cyborgs and shit, but this time he's not making them as a commission for Ishiki, he's doing it on commission for the Konoha. It's kind of reminding me of Final Fantasy VII, and Sumida is like, yo, this is mad uncomfortable. What does Kake mean? Like assistant? Disciple? Okay, and Katasuke supposedly knows about these developments, but does Naruto know? Oh, what's inside? I'm not even sure if it's a humanoid because it's so amorphous. How long you gonna ride me? Famous words, but it's not one you want to say to a little dude like Damon. What was moving right there? I guess, playing horsey with a kid, it's alright, but so. When I first got the description of what happens to Bug in this chapter, I thought he actually died because he was fantasizing about like bashing Damon's face in, and that ended up bashing his own skull in, but that's actually not what happens. His face does end up going concave, but okay, so now he's really messing around with the mechanics of Damon's Genosuke ability. That's what I'm gonna call it, Genosuke. For the Koga Ninja Scroll stuff that both of Damon and Ada's abilities work with. Trying to see if his claw marks affected in any way. I mean, Bug's face is a little concave, but it's not too different. So he's trying to make it seem like an equal exchange because he's disclosing some of his abilities, and I do like Code's skill set. There's a little more action going on with it than Kawaki. It seems more like a mid to short range version of Minato's skill set. His flying Raijin and shit. And yeah, I do like how I kind of look like the dude. Well, at least I used to. Oh, but Ada is not having this because Damon's getting too hyped, and clearly Code is trying to like hype the dude into revealing the full nuances of his ability set, but Ada's not having it. She doesn't want him disclosing all of that stuff. Okay, let me not summarize too much, but okay, so she's definitely being the big sister here, because you know, if it is based on the Koga Ninja Scrolls ability, then those Genosuke type abilities are a hard counter to one another. I mean, they're foundational to the inspiration for the Kekkei Genkai. Before Naruto, those were the Kekkei Genkai of fiction. Although here they're not Kekkei Genkai, they're abilities Amato created somehow. Which, if in the Koga Ninja Scrolls, they can be made through genetic, you know, breeding and mutation, then I can see a scientist being able to pull it off, as ridiculous as it seems. I mean, abilities to make anyone fall in love with you, or ability to, you know, redirect malice. It seems more like a shrift from Bleach in general. So, the Senrigan, Clairvoyance, and Bedazzlement, those are the only abilities known from, like, Ada, but I guess she has more. I mean, she says that she only possesses taijutsu, but that seems like BS. She wouldn't be nastier than Ishiki off of that alone. Well, I don't think she's being scaled to Ishiki, but she is definitely scaled above Jigen. Bug is having a miserable ass time in general. Oh, Kawaki in the corner store. They're looking at him suspiciously. That's a bad sign. Y'all remember Menace to Society? If you're in a corner store and they start acting freaky to you and you get mad, that's like famous last words. That's like a recipe for disaster. Okay, so rumors are spreading about Kawaki, and that's why everyone's acting all shook around him. Yeah, he's feeling alienated in the village. That's actually kind of interesting. So he's basically going through what Naruto is going through, but Naruto was already, you know, like that from the get-go, whereas Kawaki is finding himself in that situation of being shunned and feared, and people spreading shit about him, you know, at the age of 13 or 14, whatever age he is. I assume there's like a Naruto Neji kind of age dynamic, so he's like just a year older than the rest. You know, Lee's team is like a year older in general. I do not like Hinata's manga look. He looks like a friggin' she belongs in like a different series or universe. Onigiri. Okay, so there's like a Full House moment. You know when the synth comes along and the parent is talking to the son with Naruto and Kawaki. A lot of people complain that Kawaki's getting too much of the limelight from Boruto, but it's basically a parallel to what was happening a couple months ago, so it's just a transitional thing. But you know how reactionary fictional fans are now. If they don't get their thing now, or a decade from now, or 2 decades from now, it's 5 minutes from now, they just like start getting annoyed. We're in for a long haul. It's gonna be years until Boruto reaches its end. Okay, this is a weird shot of Naruto flinging up Kawaki. He's carrying him like some groceries. That's funny as shit. Well, maybe not groceries, but like a sack of presents on some Santa Claus shit. That's kind of funny. I really do like adult Naruto as a character when he's being done by the right writer. A bad writer will like mess up adult Naruto as a character because he just hits a type of vibe his Shippuden character, his Part 2 character had, but without the emo-ness and without the angst and alienation. He just has all the like heroism and a big goofy protector vibe. He's basically John Cena. It's something for the kids to look up to and shit. Which Naruto from the get-go always had like John Cena-ish elements, so I guess that's kind of cool. Oh, he's having like a big celebration, and the vase that he built is like in the centerpiece. So water can actually go in the vase. It's complete. He found the missing piece all these time. Like, I thought symbolically the vase was never going to get filled because of the whole Kawaki empty motif. Like, if there's like a one little thing, he's always gonna be empty, missing. But I guess, you know, Kawaki's arc, it's not finished yet, but he's in his upside. There's always gonna be that negative arc and shit, especially since we know this is a flash forward. I like kind of seeing Boruto as a side character. I mean, I knew Boruto was gonna really be helped by this Kawaki dynamic because Boruto always reminded me of Edward Elric. And so, obviously Edward Elric is really enhanced as a character by his relationship with his sibling. So having a bro like Kawaki is really gonna help him out. But seeing him as a side character is really cool. I like seeing the Naruto main protagonist kind of playing second fiddle to someone else in certain arcs. It's always interesting to see them as like mid-carters. That kind of dynamic is really cool. But Boruto calling Kawaki a dork is kind of funny because it just gives me an Ed, Ed and Eddie vibe. Dork. Kevin was like a cool character. So this is Boruto's headman he's giving to Kawaki. Okay, so I guess that means Boruto already found it, because I thought it was like gone, but I guess he managed to retrieve it. But he's just gonna rock with Sasuke's from now on. Okay, so that gives Kawaki a short-term goal, which is to actually become a ninja. I don't think him going to the academy will be a good fit for him, given his age and shit, but what I do think, on the other hand, is that him becoming an Anbu fits with his fighting style, since he uses that arm that turns into a pole arm blade type thing, and that would probably be really quiet. The karma, like blowing up stuff, not so much, but I do think that Kawaki would rather guard the Hokage, his pops, than he would doing missions commissioned in a squad for the other villages. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't go to the academy, just gets employed as an Anbu. It's just funny, Naruto saying, "Oh, it's good for idea, considering it's coming from you." I do like Naruto really accepting his role as Boruto's dad. Although I think at this point Reddit's probably gonna change his name from Boruto's dad to Kawaki's dad. Oh wow, this really changes up his look. Like, he got his bangs out in front. You don't see the sides of his blondes as much, except for those little sideburns in the back and shit. And the way he pops his collar now, okay, I actually like this. uh... Oh, on the neck it actually looks good too, because his hair can be as usual. It's weird that he doesn't get his own room, but I guess there's only so much, and they don't want the guy like sleeping with the little sister or Boruto himself. Probably wants his own personal jack off time and shit. What else? I do like their dynamic, and I don't know, it just makes me feel like I miss the Night Tales Kurama, because when Naruto was asleep, Kawaki got a little bit of a convo with Kurama. It's interesting because Naruto wasn't just a story about Naruto becoming Hokage. It was about him having a vision for why he wants to become Hokage and living true to that vision, which is he wants a place where no kid can, end up becoming a tool for war or feel left behind, out of place, alienated. A sense of community that is a little materialistic, but it is positive and righteous for a leader to pursue, preventing that kind of alienation that Naruto himself went through, and preventing rogues like Sasuke, in his negative arc, which, you know, you've seen parts 1 and part 2. Boruto staring at his own karma and with his look of disturbance is very relatable. There's a lot of body horror in Naruto in general, but the idea of slowly becoming someone else, not just being possessed, but essentially being deleted and rewritten, is kind of creepy. Okay, so he's gonna take the... Oh, he was tempted, but he rejected the idea of getting the karma. Well, what is he thinking he's gonna do to, you know, get stronger, besides obviously taking the karma, which is going to be the inevitable Chekhov's gun that gets filled in for the flash forward. Which, that flash forward is the most genius thing, because it's still messing with our expectations of how things will play out till this day. And we're not in part 2 yet, but you know, Reddit's still upset about part 2. This is an example of what I was saying yesterday. A description for a chapter will often give you the wrong impression of how that chapter is going to be, because there's storytelling and story content, and obviously the storytelling, I was very engaged with this chapter. Seeing what was in the characters' heads, the different things that are moving them and motivating them towards what they inevitably pursue, and you know, the rifts and different goals between the various villains of the story. Okay, Manga Plus. This one's running a little more roughly. Okay, so I guess Manga Plus, like, that one doesn't like the split screen as much. Let me try to get the touchscreen. Okay, I gotta use my other finger for some reason. My thumb, it's not working, but my... Oh no, my thumb can work, but it's just like kind of dodgy. I guess the whole family, they're just of the guys who kind of gentrified to Granola's planet, the cereal planet. They're just trying to find a way to get away from the static right now, so they're driving into their own cities and stuff. Oh, so is that a Chekhov's gun reference to the fact that Vegeta has that Force Spirit vision? Because I was under the impression that once the Moto arc was coming to a wrap, that when Vegeta actually gets a good transformation of his own, they're gonna have a hard time connecting that back to the plot, 'cause it's a technique. Techniques in Dragon Ball are good, but it's all about the transformations. Things to really amp you up into power, as opposed to utility and tools and stuff like that. I used the clone to save my strength because my ultimate goal is to kill your boss, Frieza. Vegeta hates Frieza, that's the thing, so he's just gonna be clowning on Granola and being himself. I like Granola's laughing. He just seems like a more stereotypical anime edgelord as opposed to Vegeta. The kind with the silver hair, grabs his head, laughs maniacally, is obsessed with revenge and shit like that. Yeah, honestly, I don't like Granola anymore. He's kind of stupid. He's kind of a dumbass. And that's saying a lot because, you know, Dragon Ball is all about plot-induced stupidity to move the story forward and give an impetus for the need for the Dragon Balls to begin with to correct everyone's mistakes. It's one of the few stories with like a wish-granting thing where there's no monkey's paw because the characters' actions and how they take responsibility for things is so full of idiocy that they actually do need like a correction button. Okay, let me try to... Oh wow, I thought he was about to do Final Flash with that stance, but then he brings his hands down. Similar to how Scar from Full Metal Alchemist fights. Oh, he's doing the telekinesis thing. You know, shades of Frieza, shades of Tournament of Power, all of that. It's almost like a House Zone grenade, but with like rocks. Did that shift Goku's unconscious body? No, I guess that's like the Hakai ability, but without the Hakaioshin God of Destruction transformation. But yeah, Granola has a good eye for the techniques that they're doing, which is funny because he's basically owning God level characters in terms of techniques, but he's not at the strength of the gods yet. Big ass punch to Vegeta's gut. I like how his eyes look here. Kind of reminds me of that blonde dude from Tengo Teng. He needs to give it a rest and just transform already. Enough with this like foreplay and shit. The art looks good here. I like how they incorporate the forest into the fight. That was something that the Dragon Ball fans were really hype about. You know, a fight happening in a forest setting. But that's like a regular thing for Naruto, so that just lets me know what series they should be watching instead. Oh man. Vegeta's blocking these hits, but they're still knocking him back and shit. Oh, he finally connected to Vegeta's face. He didn't block that one. It was like the hammer fist thing. You know, I forgot the name of that thing when you take both your fists, you know, put them together and then like hit someone with that. Like you're doing a sledgehammer thing. I did that to my younger bro once because he was almost about to cost me visiting my own best friend, so I ended up freaking out and cutting him open with that. But you know, I don't freak out on him like that no more. Obviously, because he's a grown ass dude. I'm a grown ass dude. There's no need for other people kind of getting me freaked out. Oh, now they're fighting in a waterfall. This is some good art, this chapter. The anime doesn't need to take any liberties creatively now, and that's kind of good because by the time the anime comes back, there will be the serialized anime. There will be 2 movies, 2 serialized, and 2 manga story arcs serialized. And by the time they're done with that, if it's like 1 arc per season, you already know they're gonna have enough room with another manga arc to adapt. At least half of one. Oh, we underwater, man. Oh, I guess he thought that would finish him off. Saying that Vegeta has an overinflated ego is proof enough that this dude just met Vegeta. The way Goku just woke up was kind of funny. At first it was kind of normal, then he just like skeets up. That's how some of my cousins be waking up too. It's surprising he hasn't transformed yet. Okay, but anyway, now Goku's just gonna be watching. There needs to be more stuff on V-Jump, man. Blew up his own town, he pissed. It's just funny, like, the dude is such a brat for a guy who's supposed to be in his 40s. But then again, I know a lot of guys like that nowadays. Oh, well, I'm sure Vegeta's used to fighting dudes who aren't used to their power that they just acquired, so they don't know how to, like, apply it. I mean, that was kind of Golden Frieza's downfall. Oh, the internet is kind of getting fucked for me. Let me check the audio. Oh, well, I'm sure Vegeta... Oh, man. He managed to catch him from that kick. Elbowed the thigh that was kicking him. He looked like he did not like feeling that granola, but still managed to kick him off. Oh, Vegeta's sounding more like my guy, or Rock Lee. That's even taking it a step above Goku. Stronger than you were a minute ago, a second ago, and type of shit. Okay, got him with that weak point. So now he's back to base. Okay, now we're finally seeing the transformation. Okay. This was what I was expecting to see since like April, March, February. I see the fiery key. Okay, so he's got an emaciated face. You know, a lot of the gods of destruction, except that redheaded dude who's kind of balding, and Champa who's like, you know, chubby. They do have skinnier faces. Even the chubbier ones have like that kind of look. His brows are gone. Okay, so he's a little bit of Beerus. I see comparisons to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but you know, skinny face, buff body. Okay, so that's the cliffhanger, his transformation. I see. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it is a good cliffhanger, and now I'm looking forward to August, seeing how the fight plays off from here on out. What ends up interrupting it, maybe September. Well, yeah, that is a good cliffhanger. I didn't think Vegeta would hold his own against Granola like this off of Super Saiyan Blue. But yeah, he was the MVP this chapter. You're doing good this arc, man. And a couple days from now, we're gonna know what the next Dragon Ball Super movie is gonna be about. Sounds like it's a good time to be a Dragon Ball fan. But yeah, I know Geekdom tries to think about how is Frieza gonna play into this. And the fact is, I'm not so sure. As annoying as Granola is, I really hope he doesn't end up dying in 3 years because of his stupid decision to convert his lifespan into power like that. Hopefully he can undo that, because I know they're gonna try to get the Earth Dragon Balls, you know, the Heater Gang. So that has 3 wishes, unless there's like a plot hole type situation like in Dragon Ball Z Broly or Dragon Ball Super Broly, where only 1 wish happened. But yeah, that was a good chapter. That was a good Vegeta chapter. He looked good. Now he's gonna look real good when he has that new transformation. He says something about how a god of destruction taught him that power derived from instinct is unbounded. So, is this more like destructive instinct? I don't know, buddy, but so far I'm really liking this. Hopefully it is in mastery, kind of like how Goku's transformed God state is also a form of mastery. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I gotta bathe, go to the supermarket, buy some groceries. It's been fun playing. I gotta say that I'm gonna be doing a lot of editing Wednesday or even later today, hopefully, because there's a lot to talk about. Well, let me cut the stream off right here. It's been your boy Mr. Lonka 7. And Oxyamexe. No, suck my dick. That's what I'm gonna say. Let's see.